Hi, this is Sassy Scarborough, talking to you live from Second Life. The reason that I'm doing a blog post today is because I want to show you a new item that I find may be really helpful for stores, possibly events, more of a communication device when it comes to events and other things, but this is for blogging management, whether or not you as a store owner do the blogging management yourself or you designate it to others. That's actually possible with this product. The only thing that is very important that you understand is that the equipment will only take items from the owner of the server, as in the store owner is the only one that will be able to send objects. So every time you're sending out your bloggers copies of things, they will actually have to be put in the machine by the owner themselves. That's not to say that it can't happen probably earlier than you actually send a notice about it or not. We will look into that. That's what I'm here for today. They actually have an incredible little video, animated video that they've made to tell you about Blogotex, but I wanted to sort of like start off, look at it from the point of view of, if I'm going to get this product, I'm new to the product, and let's see how it goes. We will be going step by step together. If I find little things that make me go eek, you'll know at the time because I'll go eek and things like that. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is have a look at the website, and this is it here. This is Blogotex, nifty looking machine. It's bloggers management system. There's a handy little video explaining it to you, showing you some of the stores that are already involved. It tells you the features, so bloggers applications. There's a sign that you can put in your store, and they'll click it and they'll fill in the information and away they'll go. You can choose when they have to post by. With all these blogs these days having deadlines that you must post however many per month, how many items are in there, what the rules are, which is good, so they'll know in advance what they're agreeing to. You can approve, reject, give them feedback on their post. I would actually hope that this would be very more positive than negative feedback, because when it comes down to it, blogs are still the blog of the person. Request limits. So this is a tool where you can actually sort of say, okay, we've got everything in the server, so we might have 20 items. You might be a newer blogger or something like that. I'm just guessing on this one. So you can actually say, okay, you can only take 2 at a time until you actually put in a post, but we'll see all this. In-world notifications, post archives, new product mass notification. Call your bloggers to blog new product. Okay, so that's sort of like a, hey, we've got new stuff. Easily switch between multiple brands. This is kind of a really cool thing. I did ask about this one. So for instance, say I was a blogger manager for XYZ stores. I can actually just switch between the stores from the same website, meaning that I can be managing everything at once. I have noticed as a blogger that there are some blog managers out there that do more than one store. This also makes it possible for partnerships in a brand to help each other out. Delegate to managers. Oh, apparently this is a premium feature. Okay, so delegate to managers, send mass message, VIP bloggers. This is really nice. This has actually happened to me in a few blogger groups where they've just made it a setting, or like a group role. Also, you've got your VIPs in your group that might be just your friend and besties and buddies, and you want them to get all the things, but you don't want them to have all this, you must do this, you must do that, because it's got nothing to do with them. You can input it manually. Now, this is a great feature because if you put the names in by hand, if you're not wanting to be inundated with blogger apps every day because you put something in your store, you can just not do that. Just don't put it in your store. That way, when you come across something or somebody that you want to invite to be a blogger, you can put them in yourself. Pricing. Now, this is a question I actually did ask, and this is what I'm going to do now. Pricing does mean that you can do it once, 1 week, try it out. It's like a demo that you pay for, and by all means, everybody deserves to be paid for their work. So you can go in, do what I do, grab it, pay for a week, find that it's not your cup of tea, let it go. That's it. You haven't really lost anything. You might find that it's the most brilliant thing that you've ever used, and you might go on from there. This is the deadlines here. So you've got customizable options the higher you go with the blogging posting deadline. Again, there's a lot of pressure. If you're a brand and you're releasing 6 things a month and your rules are must blog this, that and the other, imagine that times a lot. That's what's actually going on. So think that through a little bit before you put those hardcore things, because you end up actually losing quality. Items requested per post. Item requests per post. Okay, so how many things that the bloggers can actually grab. The value of, I guess. I don't know, we'll have a look at that. We'll test those out. All the features there. VIP bloggers. Okay, so you don't get that until you go gold, which is $7.79 lindens a week. This is like, you're looking at just over $1, just over $2, just over $3, just over $4, $5, something like that. And then you're looking at just over $100 forever, which, you know, if this is your cup of cocoa, then it's your cup of cocoa. And you do actually save if you do the math on that. Add blogs manually, send mass messaging. So gold seems to be the one that you want to go through. Max active bloggers. Okay, this is interesting. So if you've only got a little pool of bloggers, you can go cheaper, but you've got up to 200 seems to be the max. Managers, this is good too. The more managers you can have. So you can't have a manager at all in bronze. And how many things you can have in your service. So pretty much you can sort of like, and I think, sorry, the blogger in me and the store manager and the owner and the thing in me all is going to come out at different intervals in this. Everything's new to somebody. I've always said it. It's been quoted by other bloggers as me saying it. When you add bloggers to your team, they shouldn't always get what's going forward. It's really, I don't know, it's letting somebody down there somewhere. If you've got some great staples, some classic pieces, some just beautiful items, you know, fill up your server, because seriously, it can really, really bring attention to a brand. I've had it told to me by designers when I've blogged older outfits, you know, that they've seen the outfit suddenly get a spike. That's really important. So give your bloggers, whether older or newer bloggers to you, that opportunity to get older content. It's really important. It gives them more of a play. It also means that when they're styling a post, if they have more chance to wear you because there's more items available to them, that's only win-win for you. Haha, a little bit of advice from me. Okay, so place your order. Here we go. So you're just a few steps away. Purchasing walkthrough video. I did look at that. So it pretty much just says fill in this form, then you go to a place, and then you pay. So we're actually going to do that. So my name. I'm a really fast typer. No, not really at all. I have a macro for my name. Okay, we're gonna wait. So what was the difference? Because I'm just testing this for this post. I don't really need all of this, but I'm just wanting to make sure I don't actually miss anything. Okay, so gold, not cheap. Can afford to do that one. Can afford to do that one. It's just, you know, it's going to be a waste of time. Okay, so I can go for the gold, which is the default. Submit. Ooh, click to choose your logo. Okay, now we're going to do choose your logo, which is flare, which is the wrong size because it's not a square. Oh, look at that. It gives you an option to crop it. Look how blurry it is. So old. But that's really handy that, like, I don't know, these Blogotex people seem to literally be little geniuses in the little, just the website alone to be able to do something like this is pretty awesome. Look at that, that's pretty. Do not upload with transparency. Okay, that's very smart. As an event person, I know quite often you get handed logos with rims of alpha and such, so don't do that because it will look ugly. Upload. Please TP. Okay. So I can press visit this location. Sometimes that doesn't compute with Firestorm. Hi, look, it's me. Haha. And my mess. But yeah, look at our platform, isn't it pretty? Oh, look, still a Christmas tree. Bad, badass. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Okay, so where was I going? Nearby chat. And away we go. Okay, this is going to be a long video. Okay. So there's your beacon. And click and pay. Just a little box somewhere in Blogotex land. Okay. That's the server. Isn't it pretty? It looks very spacey. Look, look, look. Ooh. Okay. Blogotex. Alright, click to start. I'm good at following instructions. Please pay now. Pay. Ooh. What? Oh. Shoot. Because I'm in unavailable. See? That's so smart. Yay! I'm glad they told me because, like, I would have failed miserably. Okay, let's have a look. Did we get it? We did! Look at that! So now we go home. So, I should go over to my section where all my little machinies are. Okay. Machinies. Let's have a look. So, Blogotex Setup Pack. Open. Okay. Ooh! Please, blah, 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 blah. Setup. Okay. Open up this guy. I wonder how intuitive it is, though. I could be naughty because when you think about it, that's there. So me watching a video that you can be watching is, you know, big waste of everybody's time, really. So access point is, what is that? Ah, that's the little signy poo you put in your store. Okay. Then you get the fancy server. I've been in love with the fancy server. I think it's so pretty. Mesh, it's so pretty. Ooh. Ooh. Look at that. Okay. You're pretty. I like you. Okay. Okay, that's the video thing. Alright. Oh, it looks like I'm going to have to go there because I'm going to have to know what to do. Well. Okay, I'm going to watch for a little bit and then I'll get back to you. Okay. So, the first part is that when you res this server on the ground, you'll see that there's multiple prims here. You can tell that the yellow is the root prim and the two blues are the child prim. That's what that means. If you go to edit linked parts, you'll see inside the contents that there's different components. Okay, so they all do something differently. This first part, these note cards are what gets sent to the bloggers. So they will tell you, oh, you've got this much time left, you've got this much time left. Oh, you've been added, or you haven't been added, or you've been approved, or you've been rejected. Ouch. Okay, but you know, I see it all the time in blogger support groups. People actually like to know they've been rejected because it means they're not standing around waiting to hear back. So, you know, as much as it seems, pain, it's actually possibly a good thing. So, it all starts with your brand name. I did that wrong, like a noob. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to change your brand name. So, what I'm going to do is do this old school. They've got a space after the colon, so I'm going to copy that and then do the same thing in every one of these. The reason that I'm doing it including the space is just in case that it's scripted to read it a certain way. You've got to always make sure that anything you do like that, you include whatever spaces, whatever indications that they want, because it could mean something. So, as time consuming as this is, it's a thing. This is ones I prepared for you earlier. No, I actually just did it then, but I didn't have to make you endure it. So, they're all now named with my brand, with the other information already keeping there, so that I'm guessing so the machine knows exactly which one to send when it's time to do that. The next section here is it's where you're going to put your products. So it's going to be where you put the items that you want as review packs, or it's going to be, as I said, older products to give people a little taster. You know, you can do that at any time. I still think it's a really good idea. So, you know, just a little sassy input there. So you would fill that with your items. I really want to open my inventory right now and grab my items, but if I did that you would see it. So I'm just going to do that without you seeing because it's so bad. Okay, I cheated, but you just, no idea. Anyway, so there you go. I've put some items in the server and I've put 4 items in. That'll give us a chance to see how the whole limitation on what you can take works when we get to that point. Okay, when you finish putting stuff in the server, you click this blogger's access point and what will happen is a pop-up will appear. Now the pop-up appearing actually has a private URL, so you're not supposed to share that. I don't want to forget to blur it out in the video editing, so I'm not going to show you. It's just the normal blue pop-up and it'll say go to page. So we go to the page and then when you open it up, this is the first screen you get, which is quite awesome because it's got my logo already there, my name's already there, it's the dashboard, messages and announcements, nothing's there yet. It tells me how many days I've got left as rental. I only paid for a week, so that's pretty awesome. If that said something like 400,000 days, I could contact Blogotex and say, something's wrong. Or if I knew I'd paid for a month and it only said 14 days, you know, I could contact them again. It's always really important to contact. Okay, inward payments where you can make those, package upgrades, you can update up. Oh, I'm guessing that would mean that if you sort of decided halfway through or something that you wanted to change to the infinity or something like that, you could go ahead and do that, which is kind of nice. You could be the kind of creator that sort of creates in one lump time and then disappears for 3 months and then comes back again. I actually know some creators who are like that. They'll actually only create during a certain part of the season because they have other things, school commitments, university, things like that. They could be teachers and only have the summer holidays. So this would actually mean you could use this just for that block period of time. Try not to take advantage of Blogotex though, but you know, pay for what you use. There's really no point if you create once every 3 months and you only send out that one time. I don't see this as being the product for you. It would mean you need to be consistently creating, consistently releasing, consistently wanting your bloggers to be very proactive. So then you go from there. Okay, so this is the dashboard. Posts. There are no records. Okay, search bloggers. Woohoo! Search type used products. Inventory status. Update product list. Let's have a look if that's... Ooh, looky. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. I did hear about this. You can actually categorize, which is awesome. Now, do know though that there are a lot of male bloggers that will use female product in a post, and there are a lot of female bloggers now who have what they call mults. Okay, so that's where that would come into play. So you would actually only let the males know, only let the females know, or let either know. You could do a notify bloggers now. So okay, so you have to select there. That's tricky. No bloggers. Because I don't have any. Rules. Ooh, look, you can go, you must do everything I say always. Love you. Okay, so that's that's that. System settings. Let's have a look at settings. Posting deadlines. Should miss blogger gets auto suspended. Wow, that's harsh. But this also gives you that chance. I'm in groups where I get sent messages that say we're going through the blogs, blah blah blah. If you haven't done a post, this is keeping track of that. Because what actually happens is when they do a blog post, they submit their blog post. So the machiney does all the thinking for them. So instead of a blogger manager having to go through 200 blogs every month, the machine's actually going to say, these 12 people did no posts this month. And then you can look at the 12 people and go, okay, well, those 6 people contacted me and told me that they were, down with the flu. And those 3 apparently no longer SL, and the other 3, whatever. It's up to you to decide. So you've got up to 60 days, 2 months is a time. Remember again too, not everything's to everybody's taste. Unlocked products, you can get up to 5. What was every submitted blog post that gets accepted resets the limit back to given value? Okay, so in other words, they blog 2 items, it goes back to 5. They blog 3 items, it goes back to 5. So eventually they would get all the things that they need. They would just build up. What else? Messenger. Wow. Okay. Do not send. Select a note card. Note cards are being placed in Messenger's queue and will be delivered to bloggers in world once Messenger is started. So it's okay. So it's started. Note cards last updated. Never retrieve note card names from SL. Okay. Okay. There we go. So it's changed now. Okay, so that's what happened. So all me renaming, that's the note card that's going to get sent to those each time. See how we're learning together? It's actually really intuitive. So I really kind of like that. Okay, so that started. Somebody's application gets approved. That's the note card that they would get. The blog post came through. That's the note card that they would get. When they've only got a certain amount of days after the 60 days we gave them, that's the note card that they would get. That's the note card that they would get. It's a sad one. Oh, okay, and you would get a note card telling you that you were due for payment, which is handy as well. Make sure you have your offlines checked. Okay, and then the product says we've already looked at, the rules that we've already looked at, and the bloggers. Suspended, rejected, new applications. All. What is this one? Pencils do things usually. No. Oh, add. Look at that. Add a blogger manually. I'm going to add myself. Because. Oh, rude. Okay. Let's add Whimsy. Okay, look at her. Okay, and I can add another one. And I'm going to add What's New SL Core. The reason that I'm going to do this is I want to see what actually happens with offlines. So I'll actually see it come through in my mail. Ooh. Okay, so actions. Wow. So suspend. I've been suspended. That's harsh. Okay. I feel so violated right now. Okay, add a blogger. Oh, look, this person is check managers, creators, or suspended status. Oh, she's back in play now. Look at that. See? So you suspend somebody and then they come back and then they tell you that their graphics card blew up and things happened and there was a puppy involved and your heart melts and you give them back. That's how it works. It's true. Every store owner will tell you. And then, okay, so that's how you get your active ones. But the fact that you can still look at suspended, still look at rejected, I really like that rejected is there. Let's reject myself. You don't actually blog. Okay, so they're rejected. I rejected myself. Okay, and so then what's really cool, this is what I wanted to look at. Rejected. Accept. I love this. Okay, so you get all these applications. You're limited to a certain amount of them, or you just want to limit yourself to them. You don't want 200 bloggers on your bloggers list necessarily, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you decide you want to open up your bloggers list again, get more applications, but you think, you know what? There were some really good people last time. I just ran out of numbers. So you actually go back to the rejected pool and give them another chance. The other thing is too, if you did this every 3 to 6 months, the bloggers may have gotten better. That could be a way of bringing them back. They took the advice, they ran with it, and it's all good now. Now just showing you the managers and how you would go about adding them. It's very simple. Because I got the gold product, I'm allowed up to 3 managers. So say I was to add Whimsy Winks, I would add her, and because she was actually a blogger, she actually loses that status. I've actually done this twice now. It doesn't say that message here, but let me show you what actually comes up to add another manager. What's New SL Core, add a manager. So please note they've lost his or her blogger status. Because of that, Whimsy's lost hers, but it didn't give me a second message, which means that if for some reason she was no longer my blogger manager, I would have to give her back her status. Let's just check that to be sure. Yeah, there are no active bloggers now because I made them both bloggers. So if you do make somebody a blogger manager, whether it's temporary or full-time, and then for instance they need to go away for a month or something like that, make sure you put them back in the system if you take them off as a manager, because they want to be able to come back in, or as a VIP, whatever you do there, give it back to them. Also included is the mass messaging. This comes here where you can send a mass message to the people in your bloggers group. So you can only send to the males, only the females, or the unisex. So, so you put that there, send the mass message. Ooh, apparently I can't speak very well today. And when you go to your dashboard, you'll actually find it there, and that's where the bloggers would also find it. They would get a notification telling them that a mass message, a mass message has been sent, and they would be going to the dashboard to retrieve that information. Let's see about actually sending something. That's the products. Okay, so notify bloggers now. Bloggers are queued to receive new product notification. Okay, so I just logged in What's New SL. And I got the rejected and the suspended as a note card. So they were note card drop downs when I logged in, which is really quite distressing. I actually got them as offlines to email as well, which was really handy. So that's really awesome. Sad, but really awesome. So let me continue. Okay, so I sent a notification as well. I'll have to reverse engineer this for a second. But what I did was I've worked out that tagging here, pressing the star is what declares it a new item. You can only, and this was very informative, you can only send you can only classify something as a new item every 24 hours. So you can't spam your bloggers, which is also very good. You can't just keep throwing things in there and just keep saying blah 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 blah, here it is. So then you can also unflag it so it becomes a not new item. Now what's supposed to happen from there is that the blogger is supposed to go to the login screen. What's new SL core? But there we go. There we go. Okay, so that worked. Okay, now log in. Do, 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 do. 60 days left. My messages. Oh, where I submit my post as a blogger. This is me as a blogger though. This is not a store person. So this is me as a blogger for this brand Flare, I guess. Oh, okay, that's really interesting too. I'm guessing what happens here is you log in as a blogger, and if you've got 57 stores that all use this system, what's going to happen is the little logo is going to drop down there, and you're going to have to pick the one that's correct. You put in your aha, that's interesting too. So okay, so you can put in your blog post, you can put that you've put it on your Flickr, and you could put that you've put it on a feed or on Facebook or something like that and submit it, but you only put in that one post that one time so you don't get all confused. Products available to me here, so I can deliver them all to myself because I'm greedy. It was too fast. You must do everything I say always. Oh, look at that. That sassy character. She's so nice. So nice. Okay, so that's it from the blogger's standpoint. I've got 60 days. It's going to send me little messages if I fail and blah, blah, blah. Okay, back to Flare. Okay, so to reiterate, that's all that. Oh, look at that. Blog new product sign came through. So let's have a look at that. So that came through. My application was approved and it sent me the item. So that's really cool. So that's how you get those messages that there's new items around and available, because we can't all be in every group. The great thing about this whole product is going to be group space. Let's just not look at my mess for now, shall we? Let's just quit out of that one. Go back to this one. Okay. So the consensus of that is that as a store owner, this machine will make it possible for your blogger managers to keep track of everything. The machine will do a lot of the work for you, so you won't have to go checking blogs, blah blah blah. If you can't afford a blogger manager, and yes, they should be paid, you can do this with a little bit more ease than checking every blog and knowing whether or not they're keeping up with things, because the machine does all that work for you. You can pay weekly, or you can pay the infinity sort of price. You have the ability to add VIPs if you go for the bigger amounts, which is great, which means they have no rules. They just get the items that you want them to blog or to have because they're your besties, that sort of stuff. The other thing is too, it makes it easier for bloggers to sign in the one location and provide links to every store that they're blogging, which sometimes a post can have 4 or 5 stores in it, would mean it's all in one location. So bloggers are probably going to really appreciate the ease of that instead of going to all separate spreadsheets and so on. For event managers that they're not going to actually be giving items, but it could be an interesting way of making sure people keep up to date with what they're supposed to do. You could just use it for the notification thing. Could also use it for the submitting tool. So it's actually a really, really smart idea for that, just for keeping track of things. Again, if you don't want to do spreadsheets, it's all being kept on the Blogotex server. So also for those people that don't like having all this paper trail lying around of their Second Life activities. But one of the other big things is, again, group space. For the designers to actually be able to use some of that group space for a little bit of fun occasionally, because usually they're running so many groups for things. Also means, again, with the VIP thing, if you did have a separate group for your friends versus your bloggers, that just eliminates 2 groups. I think it's a win for a lot of people. I think that the rules part you'll have to grow from. I think from the limitations you'll have to grow from. I think that from a blogging standpoint as well, I myself have tried to start up spreadsheets to just keep track of everything that was coming in and make sure that I was covering a huge range of people over the month, but that's become harder and harder, but that's just me being busy. It's just really handy. The way Second Life has gotten out of control with all that sort of stuff, I think it would help a lot of people. The smaller amounts of money per week would be really handy if you were just starting out. Those can afford more. Give it a go. It's something that you can drop. You're not committed to it. If you do pay the over $100 version for Infinity, well, you've got it for infinity. There are a lot of informative videos. I think it's good. This video is really long. I'm going to cut that down quite a bit, but from what I learned, I think that it's a good idea. So take it from that. I think I'm going to use it myself during hair fair. So there you go.